What's going on, guys? I'm back once again, making videos once again. So, yeah, in this video, I'm gonna be reviewing the new movie that Marvel's come out with, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, it's been like a really long time since I did a review of a movie. I mean, it's been a long time since I'm back making videos now. So, but yeah, this, yeah, to say the least. I mean, I guess it's hilarious, to say the least. It's like kind of a wild card for Marvel. I mean, no, I mean, I myself, I mean, even though I'm in the comics and superheroes and stuff, I myself never heard of them, never know anything about them. But it's interesting to say the least. Yeah, like this one dude, Peter Quill, who's played by Chris Pratt, by the way, who's also in the Lego Movie earlier this year. So he's like a funny dude. He's just he's a funny, sarcastic dude, and he's just kind of does whatever. Like he's just like a thief, like an intergalactic thief. He just steals stuff, and he just puts it on the market, or the black market or something. Then we got Gamora, who's like this green skin alien. She's like the the alien version of Black Widow. And apparently she's the daughter, or like stepdaughter, of Thanos, basically the big bad, basically. Well, later on, but I'll explain later. And then we got Drax, who's played by professional wrestler, Dave Bautista. And he's like kind of say he's like a maniac, and he's like the most literal motherfucker you'll ever meet. I guess his species is literal. He doesn't understand metaphors, analogies, anything. He takes everything literally, seriously. He doesn't really he doesn't really, I guess he doesn't know lingo. He's not really a sociable character. So yeah, and Gamora was played by Zoe Saldana, and the real prize, the real was Rocket Raccoon, was like a talking raccoon, who's like this short little smartass looking guy, played who Bradley Cooper provided the voice, and I guess he did motion capture. I mean, even though it doesn't sound like him, it's hard to, maybe it does a little bit, but hard to really get out his voice. But it doesn't really sound like a general Bradley Cooper voice. But he he's like the most smart mouthed little talking animal you'll ever see on screen anywhere. And then we have Groot, who basically talks like a Pokemon, who's saying, he always says his name. He's like, I'm Groot, and Vin Diesel voices him. Even though I don't think Vin Diesel had much to work, he just had to say, I am Groot, every almost every lines, pretty much, because that's all he says. That he talks like a Pokemon, basically. But yeah. But anyway, getting into the film, I won't try not to spoil it for y'all. I'll just give you basically my eyes. Basically, it's in the Marvel universe. Avengers, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, all that whole thing. That whole franchise. This is building onto it, and now, because if you remember last year, if you saw Thor: The Dark World, the end credit scene, kind of introduced that world. I mean, had the Collector in there, played by Benicio del Toro, who's also in the movie. I mean, and who also has some parts in the movie as well. But basically, it's a ragtag team. I mean, Peter Quill, he's he's taken from Earth when he was a little kid, and everything after. He's basically taken from Earth as a kid after his mother dies, and he's taken from Earth as he goes on a little starship, and for the next 20 plus years he's been just seeing the whole universe, and he's just kind of just been I guess being working for his mentor, I guess father figure, Yondu, even though Yondu always rubbed in his face that he could have killed him, but but he didn't. He ended up saving his life. So in return, he pretty much works for Yondu, steals things for him, and puts it on the market. So, and he gets all these, and he has all these garments, and he goes by the name Star Lord. He's all people, and they're he likes to try and make a name for himself, he's an outlaw and everything. And then basically what involves an orb, and one of this orb that basically is a value. There's a value. There's another valuable artifact, kind of like the Tesseract and the ether, which is in the last Thor movie. But basically, they're valuable. They're part of the Infinity Stones, the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos has. Speaking of which, you just do see Thanos in the movie, more of him, and you see him all full body, and he's just in his throne, acting all high and mighty. He's like the Emperor in Star Wars, basically. Put it like that. He's he's kind of like what Darkseid is in DC. If he's what Thanos is in Marvel. He's this all powerful, God, like creature, alien creature who strikes fear in the hearts of many. He's also the one who gave Loki his power and the Avengers, and how Loki, who also gave Loki his army and all that. But yeah, but like so moving on, like like Peter Quill, he finds the orb and then he tries to sell it, but that didn't work out. But he it shortly runs into Gamora, who basically is on a mission from like Ronan, who is like Thanos' admiral, like Ronan who wants the orb for himself for his own purposes. He's got his own purposes, and Gamora finds him, and then she tries to take him out, and then and everything. And then basically, what happens? What happens is, I guess Rocket and Groot, they end up, getting in a little situation. They'll end up in prison, and then they meet Drax, and then and then they decide, they decide they decide, they just want to figure this shit out, and they decide they find some kind of common ground, because basically they're outcasts, they're misfits, they've lost people, lost things, and they're just, they don't really have much, and they over time they kind of bond in prison. It's like, it's an interesting little concept. It's funny. It's got some jokes. Not really like what you consider a traditional superhero movie, but hey, people like to mix things up every so often. So hey, but they bond and they decide to stage a prison break, which is like the most like one of the most hilarious parts ever. Like if you ever see, I was watching this, like I was like, yeah, if I was ever like to escape from prison, if I ever wanted to if I ended up getting locked up, if I ever wanted to escape from prison, I would hope I'd be in prison with these guys, because apparently they know how to like break out of prison. Like Rocket like comes up with the whole plan, and they manage to escape, and then they try to. I mean, later on, I guess they end up being. I think they end up trying to trying to figure out what to do with the orb, and then Ronan comes along, and then he just kind of messes things up. But basically, other than that, like basically what I don't want to like go too far here. Like I know I didn't want to try not to give spoilers, but but that's all I'll say there. But basically, Ronan, played by Lee Pace, who wants the orb for himself because he's a Kree. He's like this world color Kree, and like there's a peace treaty with like he wants to wipe out Xandar, and then there's the Nova Corps which are like they negotiated a peace treaty with the Kree, but however Ronan he's basically like an extremist. He wants to he's just like a proud Kree. He wants to just wipe out all of Xandar. He's like one of them, and he wants that's why he's under the employment of Thanos, and to help him with that. Basically, yeah, I would say, yeah, it's definitely like if you're a Marvel superhero fan, yeah, definitely go out and see this. It's hilarious. It's got it's a lot of nostalgic elements. They got like special they got these old school songs, because like Peter Quill, he has this little headset with the cassette tape that he got from his mom when he was growing up, way back when he was a kid. Like he was a kid back in the 80s, had old school songs from the 70s, 60s, and everything. So you hear music, so it's just music that you just kind of dance to, and and just kind of and you just laugh at. But yeah, overall, it's had some good moments, a little hilarious, kind of a wild card to say the least. I've talked to some people about this movie, why are they even making this movie? We're still waiting on Wonder Woman, an Amazonian woman, but we get we get a talking raccoon who shoots a gun, and a tree man, walking tree man, who all I can say is I am Groot. That's the extent of his speech. He talks like a Pokemon. But hey, whatever works. I mean, surprisingly, it worked. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's a good movie. It's good laughs. Action. Effects. It's not really your traditional superhero film. But hey, people like. But in this day and age, people like to mix it up. And people like to just throw wild cards in there. That's just the name of the game. Like these days, especially in Hollywood and film. I guess Marvel is kind of just catching on. I mean, Marvel's pretty much a big media machine at this point. It's knocking them out. Apparently they're gonna release movies for the next decade or so. But we'll see how it goes. But now next year comes the Avengers sequel, Age of Ultron, which I did see images, which looks good. I'm looking forward to. Definitely we'll see that, and I'll definitely do some movie reviews in the future every time I see a new movie, and I'll maybe even talk about some I've seen. So, but yeah, But yeah, a couple things. Yeah, I would say see it, and let me know what you think of it. If I spoiled it for you, some of it, I'm sorry, but but I would say watch this video at your own risk. But there might be some elements, but I didn't want to have to do that, but yeah. So yeah. Oh, and one thing, watch till like every Marvel movie has post credit scenes, but watch till the end of this one. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's actually I don't want to get I'm not gonna give anything away. Just say you need to see it for yourself, and you'll kind of your mind will be blown. Let's just put it like that. Your mind will be blown. But but yeah, that's it for me, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.